Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel with myself, Isabella. I'm joined with Suvi today.
Hello, hello.
Suvi and I went to school together at the Vaganova Academy, so we go way back. We've been best friends for a long time and I'm happy you're here, Suvi. Welcome. You are in the UK with me.
I am. It's been a while.
Yes, we did some shooting yesterday, which was super fun. Today we're going to be doing a Q&A. So I asked my followers on Instagram to send us in a bunch of questions, and you have. So we're going to be tackling some of those today. Right, Suvi, you're up.
Yes.
You ready?
Yes.
So, first question. Describe both your dancing styles and ballet tastes when watching dance.
Oh.
Yeah. Interesting question.
Yeah.
The styles one, I feel is kind of obvious, no?
Similar. Both Vaganova trained.
Yeah, so. Vaganova trained. I mean, have you found, because you went to Finnish National, did you find it changed because you had loads of guest teachers you had the French teachers and everything?
Yeah.
Did you find you...
Definitely. I think my base is like Vaganova because I had Russian teachers who went to Vaganova before I came to the school. But definitely not having like a Vaganova teacher there every day, I lost some details and also got influence from the French teachers and the American teachers. So I don't think I'm as like schooly anymore like that. But I still feel like the base is the Vaganova. Yeah.
Yeah, and when you joined the Finnish National, were you ever afraid that would happen, that you'd lose your technique? Because I remember Kniaseff, when he went to the West, he actually has said that he was scared of losing his schooling, you know.
I think I was mostly just scared of, because I felt like the morning class was not, it was not as hard as our class at the Vaganova, and also like shorter. We only had 1 hour, 15 minutes class in the morning, and then a lot of standing around in the rehearsals. So quite early on, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna lose my strength. And then I was trying to like do stuff on my own, but it's also hard after a long day. So
yeah, because I always find though, when even I go to classes that are a different style, like a French teacher or American, I would still do it in the Vaganova style, even though the exercises may be more French. Like I wouldn't try to dance like a French dancer,
right?
You know, I'd still very much have my Vaganova style, but I'd be doing French technique, you know. I guess similar to when you ask a Mariinsky dancer to do a ballet machine ballet. Like they're not going to try to be a ballet machine dancer. You know? Okay, and then the second part of that question is, what do you like to watch in terms of what's your ballet taste when you're watching dance?
I mean, I like to I would like to watch good ballet and nice pieces. It's not necessarily that I like don't like the New York City ballet style I don't like the French style. So I think just seeing a beautiful dancer with good technique is lovely. But I do gravitate more towards the Russian technique. I think the Port de Bras is most beautiful in my opinion. Yeah, in the Russian technique. So
yeah, no, I totally agree. Yeah, totally agree. Like I love the energy of a New York City dancer.
Yeah,
like they're amazing. But yeah, you could say that the Russian style, watching it, is almost like it reminds you of home because it's what you're used to and it's what we've been training in. Yeah. Great question. All right, Suvi, do you want to ask me one?
I do.
I'll just let you in. There we go.
Okay. All right. What's the difference between moving fast versus moving slow? Which one shows more technique?
Interesting. I mean, they both show a lot of technique. Yeah. We can move slowly badly and we can move quickly badly, you know. And they both require different skills. Yeah. Moving quickly requires a lot of that fast twitch muscle and being able to do that skillfully and looking light at the same time. Whereas moving slow requires so much control, stability, strength in the legs. Yeah. And I find dancers who place a lot of focus on moving quick with every combination. There are schools which go very quick in adage and go very quick in lots of combinations. Therefore, they don't have this sort of diverse range of strength. So when they're doing an adage, they feel unstable or it's intimidating. Whereas in the Vaganova method, we place so much importance on adage, you know. And then not so much on Pitti Allegro, but I found that came later when the inner thighs are really connected, you know. But yeah, no, I think both are difficult. What do you think?
Oh, I agree. I don't think one is more difficult than the other. It also just depends on what kind of dancer you are. For some people, it's more natural to move slow and lift the legs. And for some people, it's easy to do fast things. But yeah, definitely both require a lot of skill. So yeah, I mean, interesting question.
Yeah.
But I don't think one shows more technique than the other.
No.
Both are.
I think when there's a dancer that can do all of the above, they're really that shows technique. That shows technique.
Now that's technique. Okay, your turn.
Okay.
This is so fun.
Okay, Suvi.
I'm ready.
Okay, Suvi, did you ever feel some sort of burnout when you were at the Vaganova Academy? And how did you deal with that? Now,
Burnout.
We were roommates. Well, you were next to me.
We had a wall between us.
We had a wall between us, yeah. Were you ever burning out in there next door?
I was, because you left the shower on for so long. Like 30 minutes, hot water, just steam coming out.
I wanted the muscles to be warm. And I needed my own spa experience. I know. And then the babushka came upstairs. Like, Isabella, panting because she's so unfit and a bit overweight. Because I set the fire alarm off from the steam. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I was like, no, everything's fine. I'm just having a shower. She was like, okay.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it happened relatively often. She was always extremely sweaty.
Yeah,
she came upstairs.
I just remember being like, how is the shower still on? And then opening the door to check, and I just see steam, and I'm like knocking, like, are you okay? And you're like, I'm in my room. Anyway, back to it.
Focus. Apart from boiling alive from the steam, did you ever burn out?
I don't really feel that I did. I think at that age I had we talked a little bit about this yesterday, some kind of blind motivation and energy and belief that I'm gonna be a dancer. And I think I was just probably the only thing was with the eating, like I felt tired just because the body was tired from maybe not the best nutrition. But I wouldn't say that I felt burnt out there. Yeah. At any point. Like, I enjoyed my life there.
Yeah. I think nowadays where this comes from is a lot of students feel like they're not doing enough. Like, from looking at people on social media and seeing people, I don't know, doing hundreds of pirouettes. Yeah. Not hundreds, but, you know, and doing loads of exercises and everything, and constantly feeling like they need to do more. And I think it's probably more of a mental burnout than anything else. But I think back to when we were there, and we didn't have social media in this way.
No.
Like, I don't know about you, but we only had really like Facebook, and I barely went on Facebook.
Same.
Occasionally I would comment, being like, I just did my exam, and no one would care. You know?
I'd comment like, tired today.
Yeah, it would just be us chatting, even though you were next door. And I think that made us just feel much more kind of focused and internally just on ourselves and our own journey, and not worried about what others are doing. I think there's a lot of worry about that with young people now. They're focused too much on what others are doing. But yeah, I would say we never really burned out in that way. We were tired, for sure, but we looked after ourselves pretty well. Like, we had very strict routines.
Yes,
we went to bed almost at the same time every single night, got up at the same time. I knew exactly what your routine was.
I knew exactly what your routine was.
Shower, 30 minutes. Yeah. So I think having a routine, but I mentioned...
Isabella is watching Friends and stretching now.
Yeah. But we've spoken about this before. I think people need to schedule in rest time and recovery time, you know? As well. It's super important.
Definitely. Yeah, if you're trying to be in the zone 24/7, then of course you're gonna feel sick of it and tired.
Yeah, and we even mentioned, like, we didn't watch ballet at night.
No.
Like, that was the last thing I wanted to do after a hectic day. We watched Friends.
We watched Friends.
Back to back.
Yeah.
Yeah. to numb the experience of the day.
To make us forget everything.
Yeah, make us forget just for an hour.
Just to pretend we're young people living
We're not
in New York.
traumatized at all.
No. Dear.
All right, Suvi, next question.
Okay. Ooh.
She's like, you're scaring me. Go for it. Spit it out,
Hey.
woman.
Biggest regrets in your ballet training?
Biggest regrets. I've got no regrets. No regrets. No, I think my biggest regret, and that's because I just didn't know how, was to like trust myself more. You know, like with my ability in the moment, because you know teachers saw a lot of potential in me, and I obviously worked very, very hard for them, but nonetheless I never truly believed like I could really do that, or wow, that's an amazing opportunity, I can definitely do this. You know, that took so much mental strength from me, and I just didn't know how to actually make myself feel trusting of myself, which is why I do the podcast now, and those sort of we do those chats, because I think if we had those tools and just the feeling like you're not alone and you have the support and you're capable, then I think I could have enjoyed a lot of things more. I also didn't enjoy it as much as I think I could have done. I was obsessed with improving and focusing and getting better, but it was this sort of pressurized focus rather than I'm enjoying this process. You know, I definitely felt stressed a lot of the time. Yeah. What about you? I think you should answer that as well.
Listen, I have a lot of regrets. No, I think, well, people are often saying like you shouldn't regret anything, but I think it's fine to regret things.
Yeah.
But, like, you can regret something, but also not live in the past, and like just it happened. It didn't go well, maybe, but move on. So yeah, no, I think I could have done many things better. Probably my biggest regret is, again, coming back to sort of the same thing, like self-esteem and trusting myself, but then that really like came down to the nutrition. I think I lost a lot of strength and like enjoyment, motivation, coordination. I lost a lot of technique, and also
because you were kind of dieting.
Yeah, because for years, not just in Vaganova, but for many years. Yeah. And my jump, for example, I still to this day have I feel I have a bad jump. So yeah, that's probably my biggest regret. Also, there was a point where I hated ballet because I was just so like tired, which is a shame because obviously I love ballet. And having said that, I also think I could have worked a lot harder, especially before I went to Vaganova. I didn't really know what working hard was. Like, I thought I was working hard. Yeah. But I could have been doing so much more. Yes. I don't know. In a way, maybe it's good that I didn't I don't know. I just think the age like 13 to 15, I could have done much more to then later help with my technique. But you know, we live and we learn.
I think when you're super young, you feel like you have a lot of time on your hands. Yeah. You know, and like, oh, that will improve, or I can get better at this over time. Exactly. And it's only really, I mean, this just happens with age. You just realize, oh, actually, I don't have that much time. Yeah. And the ballet life is short. I mean, similar to me, when I was at the Royal Ballet School, I thought I was working hard. Yeah. But I wasn't stretching at night. I wasn't doing loads of exercises in the morning to warm up. And the classes definitely didn't push us as much as the Vaganova ones. Yeah. And so I as well didn't realize how hard I could actually work. And even within Vaganova, I didn't really start pushing myself loads until you showed up, actually.
Because of me.
Yeah. You showed up and I was extremely threatened. And I was like, I've got to practice every night because Suvi's in class. Yeah. But really, I think it's because I got into that routine. I then you know, we became used to the load, and then I was able to do more. You know, you just get fitter.
Yeah.
But okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So the nutrition thing you regret the most?
Yeah.
Being sort of punishing on yourself.
Yeah, I just think I like lost a lot of strength and technique just for a stupid reason.
Yeah.
To sum it up.
Yeah. Well,
so eat well.
Eat well, look after yourself.
Yes.
And surround yourself with good people who you can talk to, you know? Okay. Oh, this is interesting, this question. What friendship advice do you have when starting or finishing a school? I'm imagining like she's talking about when you go to like Vaganova the last year.
Oh.
And they've all got their friends.
Oh. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so you're going into like the graduation year
Right.
or something, and
Right.
you're only there for a year.
Friendship advice.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, number one, you hope they're all nice.
yeah. You hope they're all nice. Yeah. I don't know. It can be very intimidating, I think, to go to a new class, especially if they've known each other for a long time and they have their own things. So that can feel very scary and alienating. But I think you just have to give it time and trust that usually there are actually very few people who are like mean and malicious.
Yeah.
Most people, even if they seem cold at first, you just have to get to know them. So I think just give it time and you will find your way to settle into that group. But yeah, of course, like some things you can do is just like make the initiative to go and talk with them and try to be warm and kind.
Yeah, and also just be yourself, I think.
Yeah.
There's nothing, I would say, don't go into the year focusing on that, like worried about making friends.
Yeah.
Just go in and be yourself.
Yeah.
And focus on the work, and things should just naturally happen, you know.
I feel like usually you spend so much time with that group, like, and then...
Yeah, and it's so intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're all in this together. It really just feels like a team effort. But worst case scenario, it's a finishing school, like you're there for a year, get out of it your training, and then you leave.
Yeah.
It's not permanent.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's another thing that I wish I'd kind of focused on when we were in these scenarios, these difficult times. Like, even though it's difficult, this isn't permanent. Like, life moves on.
Right.
You know.
That's always a good thing to remember. Like, if you're feeling something right now, it doesn't mean that it's always gonna feel this bad.
No.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right, Suvi, let's do one more.
Okay. Oh, pressure to find a good one. Tips for developing artistry like the great ballerinas.
Good question. Well, we have an artistry course on the platform. But
I want to take that.
Yeah, you should.
Nice.
I always think, when it comes down to it, artistry shouldn't be just put on for the last sake of it. You know, like the icing on the cake. It shouldn't just be added on later. Yeah. And I always found within our Vaganova training, the artistry was very much within every combination. You know, how we use our head, how we move the arms. And I think it should be trained along with the technique from the very beginning, really. Obviously, when you're like super young, everything needs to be square, regimented. There's not going to be so much expressing. But soon after those primitive years, you start to understand style. And then as you grow as a person, you start to add your personality within that style, knowing how to move in an expressive way. And then as you become professional, like, then you start to add your life experience to it, and then understand how to unlock that artistry, you know. So I think it's something that develops with your technique over time, and shouldn't be thought about as, oh, she's learning this variation, let's put a smile here, put a, you know. It should be very much within your training, so that when you do a variation, it's kind of, it comes naturally, you know. Otherwise, you tell someone to put their arm here, put their head here, smile here, within this solo, they're not really learning what artistry is.
Yeah.
So then when they do another variation, or they don't really know what to do, you have to tell them step by step, which is not artistry in my opinion.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, very, very good answer. I completely agree. I think there's also a lot of, like, a good teacher also knows, for example, if you are practicing a variation, it's not just steps, but there is a context for that variation, like what character it is, what the story is. And so in that way, all the port de bras, the movement, the heads are more than just the head is here. There is a reason for it. You are maybe looking at somebody, or whatever it may be, you are communicating something. So I think a good teacher knows how to, like you said, develop the artistry from the training, and not so that you are trained and then like you are just hoping that, well, I hope this person has a nice stage presence.
Yeah. I think that leads into something else, which is a lot of countries are competition focused. You know, because they have small ballet schools, so competitions help them be seen by larger schools, and hopefully they'll get another opportunity. But I think a lot of these kids are doing variations at like 10 years old and don't necessarily know the story, know where this ballet's from. A lot of students haven't even watched a whole ballet. They've watched YGP or Prix de Lausanne variations, which obviously those competitions are great and given so many people opportunities, but I think it's easy to forget what ballet is supposed to be all about. So I think to create a well-rounded dancer who's artistically intelligent, you need to understand what it is you're dancing, why, like you said, the reasons behind these movements, so that you can actually just dance with more depth in the first place, other than this surface level movement. And you can tell very quickly.
You can.
Yeah.
In the end, I think it really is about storytelling and communicating
and educating yourself. Yeah. Fabulous answer, Suvi.
Thanks. Likewise.
Well, guys, we'll leave it there for the Q&A. Thanks so much. If you enjoyed this, leave your questions in the comments below, and we'll do another one of these sometime, hopefully soon. Suvi, you'll have to come back. You'll have to move here.
Oh, I wouldn't mind.
I'm gonna put you in my garage for now.
That sounds lovely. Just be there with your cat.
Yes.
I'll be fine with anything.
Yeah. Stay with Barry. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll see you super soon. Bye for now. Bye.